Good morning, Crossing. This is your 5-minute Friday for the week. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today just about staying healthy and connected to God during this time. Some of you guys might know that before we came to the Crossing, my husband and I were missionaries in Indonesia. And so being isolated like that was really difficult, and it was really difficult to keep ourselves healthy and thriving in that environment. And so now, being in this kind of COVID season where we're a lot more isolated, we're not around as many people, it's kind of bringing back a lot of those feelings of just loneliness, And so something that I've always struggled with, especially over there, but even coming back here, especially as just a mom with young kids, is just not having like hobby or something, to do for myself. That's always been like something I've dreaded when people ask me like, oh, what are your hobbies? What do you do for fun? And I'm like, I don't know. I have kids. Like, it's like, that's where all my time goes. And so being in this season, I really wanted to start trying to work on, what is something that I can do that can be fun and enjoyable for me, but also kind of help me improve my own relationship with God and keep growing in that area. And so one thing that I have tried to do is to start a garden. Maybe you guys have a garden at home. Mine is very unimpressive. You can see it right here. It's little. I've got some green onions and some squash and basil and some lovely flowers and stuff down here. So it's little and it's growing, and it's been really great for me to have something that I can do with my hands, because it's hard. It's hard, like, especially, I don't know if you guys, if any of you have young kids, it's hard to know, how to have that time for yourself. And one thing we learned in Indonesia is that if we're not taking care of ourselves, that we can't begin to take care of other people. That we have to be healthy and we have to have that thriving relationship with God if we want to be able to give that to someone else. So if this is something that you've been struggling with in your life, self-care, finding time for you to be able to connect with God in that way, because we all connect to God in different ways. There's been times in my life where I felt like I really connected to God through reading the Bible, or connected with God through being in nature. And that's something that my husband is actually one of his primary ways that he feels like he can connect with God, is that he likes to go out surfing and just to be in the ocean. And that's that quiet time that he can have, that he feels like he really connects to God. And so, being stuck alone in our houses, that can feel really isolating. It can feel really difficult to connect to God. So I would just encourage you, if that's where you're at, if you're feeling like that you've been struggling in this regard, what is something that you can do today, this week, that you can begin connecting to God in your own way? Maybe it's using your hands and, being around. I love to be around God's creation. So, like nature and plants, like that's something that's been really great for me, that I can see God's beauty in. Or even one thing I love to do is seeing the stars, going out at night and looking up and seeing all of the amazing things that God's created. And that's one way that I can connect to God. So maybe that's something that you could do, that you feel like that's a way that you can connect to God. Or maybe there's another way, through art or through movement, dancing, or reading different books. Drop in the comments below. Tell me, what is a way that you feel like you connect to God? And maybe you can give some ideas to some other people as well. Or if you have a garden, if that's one way that you feel like, that's how you really connect with God, and during this time, send us a picture of your garden. We'd love to see it. So So we'll see you guys later, and yeah, hope you guys have a great Friday. Bye.